The evening sun melted slowly behind the tall palm trees, its dying light bathing the village of Odupe in gold and crimson. Smoke rose lazily from clay chimneys, carrying the scent of roasted yam, while children's laughter echoed between mud walls. The rhythmic beats of drums rolled across the fields, blending with the chirping of crickets and the gentle hum of twilight. But beneath this peaceful beauty, beneath the calm voice of the wind and the flicker of firelight, lay a story, one the old women whispered when the night was deep and only the brave dared to listen. A story of two sisters, a story of love, jealousy, and the spirits that never sleep. In the heart of Odupe lived a widow named Mama Ajike, a weaver known for her gentle hands and heavy heart. Her husband had died when her daughters, Abeni and Morayo, were still small. From that day, she raised them with the strength of 10 women. Abeni, the elder, was calm like still water. Her laughter soothed, her eyes kind, her presence healing. Morayo, the younger, was fire, quick to laugh, quicker to anger, and full of beauty that made men turn twice. Though they were different, they loved each other deeply as children. They shared food, stories, and dreams. When the moon was bright, they'd lie on their backs counting stars, promising never to let anything come between them. But time, as the elders say, reveals hearts. When they came of age, suitors began to flood Mama Ajika's compound. Some came with goats and wine, others with fine wrappers and cowries. Yet, all eyes somehow turned toward Abeni. For though Morayo was beautiful, Abeni carried grace. And grace, they say, is a light that outshines beauty. Among the many young men was Adetola, the son of the village blacksmith. He was tall and dark, with a chest hardened by the heat of the forge, and a voice that carried the weight of honesty. He had loved Abeni since childhood, though his father's poverty made him shy to speak. But one evening, under the old Iroko tree where palm wine flowed and songs filled the air, he gathered courage. Abeni, he said, his eyes soft but steady, I have no riches to offer you, but if you walk beside me, my hands will never tire in building our life together. Abeni smiled. Adetola, I need no riches, only peace. If your heart is true, then my heart is yours. From that moment, their love grew like yam vines after the rain, humble, patient, and rooted deep. Their wedding was the grandest Odupe had seen in years. Drums echoed through the night, dancers twirled in colorful wrappers, elders poured libation to the ancestors, praying for fruitfulness. Morayo danced beside her sister, her face painted with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Inside, her chest burned like iron in a forge, for she too had secretly loved Adetola. She had watched him at the river, admired his quiet strength, and dreamed of his hand in hers. But dreams can turn bitter when reality belongs to another. That night, as Abeni and Adetola began their life together, Morayo sat by her window, staring at the moon. Why her? She whispered. Why not me? Months turned into seasons. The sisters' bond began to fade. Abeni's laughter filled her new home. Adetola's workshop flourished. People came from nearby villages for his iron tools and charms, praising the gentle woman who kept his home tidy and his heart warm. Meanwhile, Morayo's hut grew silent. Suitors still came, but none stirred her heart. Each smile from Abeni became a thorn in her chest. Each night she lay awake, hearing their laughter carried on the wind. Then one day, while selling firewood at the market, she overheard two women gossiping. They say Abeni's husband bought her a gold bangle from traders in Oyo, one said. Ah, love has found her, the other replied. Abeni is truly favored. Morayo's jaw tightened. Favored! The word tasted like bile. Later that week, she went to see Iya Oloja, the market woman who was rumored to have charms for every heartache. I want him to love me, Morayo said. Just once. To see me, not her. Iya Oloja's eyes narrowed. Love first is love cost, she muttered, pounding herbs into her mortar. Child, envy is a river that never ends. Drink from it and you'll never find peace. But Morayo pressed on. Then let her lose what I cannot have. The old woman sighed, shaking her head. If your spirit is set, go to Iya Ogunre, the priestess of the forest. But remember, when you summon shadows, they do not live quietly. That night, Morayo wrapped herself in a black shawl and crept into the forest. The moon hid behind clouds, and every sound, the hoot of an owl, the rustle of leaves, felt like a warning. At the heart of the forest stood a shrine made of skulls and cowrie shells. Smoke curled from a pot, and the air smelled of palm oil and blood. From the darkness, a frail voice spoke. You seek what you should not, said Iya Ogunre, the priestess. Her eyes glowed faintly red. But since your heart is heavy, the spirits will answer. Morayo knelt. I want a joy to end. I want our laughter to die in our throats. The priestess smiled, slow, knowing, terrible. She took a small calabash, filled it with palm oil, charcoal dust, and the feather of a black hen. When you pour this at your sister's doorstep before dawn, she whispered, her joy shall wither like harmattan leaves. But beware, the spirit of envy feeds first on its giver. Morayo nodded, her heart pounding. I will do it. She carried the calabash home through the night, trembling but determined. Just before sunrise, while the village still slept, she poured the dark liquid by Abeni's doorstep. The earth hissed. Somewhere in the distance, a dog howled. By midday, Abeni fell ill. All laughter ceased, all eyes dulled. The healer tried herbs. The priest poured libations. Nothing worked. Adetola's hand shook as he wiped sweat from her forehead. Stay with me, he whispered. You are my breath. Morayo watched from her hut, pretending to mourn, but each cough from Abeni felt like a curse echoing back. Days passed. Abeni's body weakened, yet her voice remained soft. Morayo, she said one evening, pray for me, my sister. I feel a cold wind in my bones. Morayo swallowed hard, tears threatening. I will, she lied. But at night she couldn't sleep. The calabash haunted her dreams. She'd hear whispers in the dark, calling her name, laughing, mocking. Then came the night when Odupe went silent. The wind rose without warning. Chickens hid, the moon turned red behind the clouds. Morayo sat upright, heart racing. A strange whisper came from her window, faint, soft, calling her name. She stepped outside, barefoot, and froze. The calabash lay by Abeni's doorstep, cracked open. Inside, something moved, dark and pulsing, like a shadow alive. The whispers grew louder, forming words that twisted in her ears. You fed me. Now I feed on you, terrified. Morayo ran toward Abeni's hut, only to stop dead in her tracks. Abeni was standing, alive, glowing faintly, her eyes no longer her own. They shimmered like water lit by moonlight. Morayo, she said, her voice echoing as if carried by spirits. You drank from the river of envy. Only truth can cleanse your soul. Morayo fell to her knees. Forgive me! I didn't mean it. I was blinded by love. Abeni smiled sadly. I forgive you, but forgiveness cannot erase consequence. At that moment, the calabash shattered with a deafening crack. A whirlwind roared through the hut. The lamps flickered out. And when the wind stilled, Abeni was gone, vanished like smoke. Only a single white feather remained on the floor. When dawn broke, villagers found Morayo sitting outside, staring at nothing. The feather rested in her palm. For 7 days she neither spoke nor ate. On the 8th day, her voice returned, soft and broken. I have learned, she whispered, that envy eats not its target, but its owner. From then on, she became a ghost among the living. Every evening, she sat beneath the Iroko tree, speaking to no one, her eyes distant. When children passed, she'd murmur, do not drink from the river that has no end. Then one harmattan morning, she disappeared. At the foot of the Iroko tree lay only a calabash, empty, cracked, and dry. Years passed. The tale of the two sisters became a warning told by every fire in Odupe. The elders would say, "Never envy your brother's blessing nor your sister's joy." The spirits of envy never sleep, and their price is always the giver's peace. And so, the story of the Calabash of Envy lived on, whispered by wind, guarded by trees, and remembered by those who knew that envy, once born, never truly dies. The end. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more stories. Like, share, and comment with your thoughts.